Welcome to your practice today. We are going to begin in child's pose. So simply bring the big toe mounds towards one another, open up the knees, allow space for the belly, and lower the forehead to the floor, stretching the arms out long. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose and then open the mouth and sigh out. And then just begin to start to cycle the breath in through the nose and out through the nose if that feels good to you. And maybe set an intention for your practice today. And when you're ready, we'll come gently into hands and knees. Spread your fingers wide. We're going to take 5 rounds of cat-cow at your own pace. So sinking the belly down first, open the throat. And then as we exhale, move the chin towards your chest and curl your belly in towards your spine. Inhale, open the belly, open the chest, open the throat, and then exhale, curl round in and open the back body. Tuck your tailbone, move chin to chest. We'll take 3 more at your own pace, moving on an inhale and then moving again on the exhale. And last one, inhale, open, and exhale, curl and round in. And we'll move into a neutral spine. So we'll begin to warm the core and the glutes a little bit here. So begin to press strong into the hands and into the left knee and lift your right foot straight back behind you. So we want to avoid arching into that low back. We want to keep the back straight and then really kick through your right glute as you stretch your left arm forward into a bird dog. So draw your navel in towards your spine, hold everything nice and still, and take a few breaths in and out. Place your left hand back on the floor and place the right knee back on the floor. Ground into the right knee as you kick your left heel straight back, square your hips together, and again, not overextending in the low back, but keeping everything really straight as you reach your right arm forward into a bird dog. And take a few breaths here. And then we'll place the right hand back down and the left knee back down. Begin to ground into the left knee as you kick your right heel back. Inhale, stretch your left arm out long, and as we exhale, we're going to bring elbow and knee in towards one another. Inhale, open back out, but don't extend into the low back, just fire through the glutes. Exhale, pull knee and elbow in towards one another, crunching the belly. Last one, open up. Exhale, crunch in, tap elbow to knee. And then last time we're going to open up and then place the left hand to the floor and then right knee to the floor. Same thing, other side. So ground into your right knee as you kick your left heel back. Inhale, reach your right arm forward. Stay here, exhale, pull elbow and knee in and feel the low belly crunch. Open up without extending into the low back and exhale, pull in and crunch. One more, inhale, open up. Exhale, pull everything in and crunch. Inhale, open up, and then place your right hand to the earth and your left knee to the earth. This time we're going to ground into the left knee, kick your right heel straight back. We're going to keep both hands on the floor, bend the right knee and pull your heel towards your glute. Circle your knee out to the side of the mat and then pull your knee down towards the floor, but don't let it touch the ground. Kick your right heel straight back, bend the right knee, circle the knee around and down, but don't let it touch the ground. One more time, kick your heel back, bend your knee, rotate the hip out to the side, circle down and around. This time, hold the legs straight back behind you, reach your left arm forward, bend your right knee, and then try to reach back for the ankle of the right with your left hand. Open the chest like we're in a cow pose. Take a big breath in, push into the foot and the hand, and then re-extend into that bird dog shape. Feel the glute fire up a lot. Place left hand onto the floor and right knee onto the floor. Take a breath in, sink your belly down, open up cow pose. Exhale, curl round in, cat pose. Inhale, open, and exhale, curl round in. Maybe moving a little bit more fluidly now. Inhale, open, and exhale, curl round in. We'll come back to neutral spine, ground into your right knee as we kick our left heel straight back. Bend your left knee, pull your knee around towards the left edge of your mat and circle it down towards the floor without touching. Kick your heel straight back, bend your left knee, sweep the knee out to the side, and then pull the knee down towards the floor. Kick the heel back in, all the while trying to keep the back straight. Bend the knee, circle the knee down and around. Now from here, we're going to kick the leg straight back, reach your right arm forward and hold this bird dog. Feel free to stay here or maybe bend the left knee as you reach back with the right hand for the top of the foot or the ankle. And then pull your chest open, kick into your foot and your hand, and then open the heart a little bit more. Re-extend, keep the back nice and long, feel the left glutes fire up, and then place right hand and left knee down to the earth. Take a breath in, drop the belly down, open the heart. Exhale, curl around in, into cat pose. 2 more at your own pace, moving 1 breath in and 1 breath out. And when you're ready, we'll find a neutral spine. We're going to tuck your toes and sit back on your heels into hero pose. So walk your hands back to your knees. Make sure the pinky toes are flipped under as well. And we'll take a few moments just to find your breath. So hands can rest on the thighs, in through the nose and out through the nose. In fills the belly. Exhale, navel draws to spine. Good. And we'll begin to untuck the toes, sit back and stretch the front of the ankle out. And again, just finding your breath here. And then we'll slide our hands forward as if we were coming to child's pose. Keep looking towards your fingertips. Roll your body into a modified plank. So shoulders stack on top of wrist and elbows pull in towards one another so they're not flaring back. Let your elbows sweep by your sides as you lower your chest all the way to the floor and untuck your tailbone. Untuck the toes and fingertips tent out to the sides of your shoulders. Pull your elbows up as you push into your finger pads, raise your chest a little or a lot, and then wave your heart back down. Inhale, open the chest, lift, rise, squeeze the glutes, and exhale, wave the heart back down. Feel a chest stretch. One more time, inhale, open the heart. And exhale, peel your heart back towards the floor. Hands squeeze by your rib cage, elbows squeeze in, tuck your tailbone, draw your core as you lift into a modified plank, and then sit back in child's pose for just a moment. Maybe toes tuck, and then up and back, downward facing dog. Spread your fingers wide. Let your back soften, your shoulders soften, so maybe you bend your knees a lot to take that curl out of the back. And then begin to extend the knees as much as you feel comfortable. Maybe bend one knee and then the other, heels reaching towards the floor, but in all of my years of practicing yoga, my heels have never hit the ground. So don't feel frustrated or forced into a shape that doesn't feel good to you. Just prioritizing the spine and good alignment. When you're ready, draw your right heel to the sky and think about that bird dog that we just did. So no one extend into the low back. And then pull your right knee towards your nose and lightly as you can, try to step your right foot to right thumb. Square your hips together and sink your left knee to the mat. Untuck the toes and place both hands on the right thigh to lift you up into a low crescent lunge. Try not to dip into the low back, so tuck your tailbone as we reach our left hand up to the sky. Gently lean on the right elbow and lean that left arm over to the right edge of your mat. Take a few breaths in to feel that opening through the front of the left hip. And we'll come back to center, place your left hand onto the earth, and we'll heel toe your right foot over 1 or 2 steps, allowing space for your right hand to come inside that right knee. You may want a block or 2 under the hands here for a little bit of height. But really we're just going to sit here and stretch for a moment, enjoy that front of the left hip stretch again. Spin your left foot towards the right edge of your mat and keeping your right hand grounded to the floor of the block, begin to reach your left arm to the sky. So you're going to feel that right inner knee pressing into that right upper arm bone and just begin to open up, squeeze through the right glute to really feel that opening through the inner thigh. Use your core strength to come into this modified warrior two, so arms expanding long to either end of your mat, and then sink as deeply as you feel comfortable into your right knee. You may feel that down by the ankle or in the knee itself, but just not pushing to pain. When you're ready, reach your left hand back, open up the body. We're not really sagging here. We're really intentionally drawing the core in and finding a line between our right fingertips and our right toes. Circle that right hand down towards the floor and sit back into like a half child's pose as you pull your right toes up towards the sky. You may feel this a lot in that right inner thigh. Just breathe through it. Find a place in a space that feels appropriate for you. So maybe the hips lift a little here if this is too much. When you're ready, walk your hands back to your left knee. Find that low lunge shape again, both hands inside of the right knee. Tuck your back toes. We're going to begin to squeeze the right knee into the right upper arm bone and try to lift the foot up off the floor. Find that core squeeze and engagement. And then almost like we're coming to a bird dog here, kick your right heel back. Squeeze everything together, elbows sweep by the sides like a three-legged chaturanga all the way to the floor. Inhale, rise your chest up high. Exhale, wave your heart back to the mat. Knees stay grounded, gather up your core, drop up into a modified plank, sit back into child's pose for just a moment. Wave your heart up back into modified plank, tuck your toes up and back, downward facing dog. Spread your fingers wide, take a breath in and take a breath out. Feet step together, lift your left heel high, remembering to square the hips like we are in that bird dog shape. Feel the glute fire as you pull your knee towards your nose, lightly as you can, step left foot towards left thumb. Squeeze your hips together, lower your right knee to the earth, untuck the toes, place hands on the thigh, rise up into a low crescent lunge. Left hand stays to the thigh. We're not slingshotting the heart forward, we're tucking the tailbone as right hand reaches up. You can stay here or maybe lean gently to the left edge of your mat. Open the right front hip. Take one more breath in. And as you exhale, we'll come back into center. Circle that right hand down to the mat. Heel toe your left foot over 1 or 2 steps, allowing your left hand to reach to the floor or blocks. Pull your heart forward, sink into your right hip a little bit more. Find a long line through your back. So if you find that you're feeling a little bit of pain in the low back, lift your chest up a little higher using those blocks. And we'll begin to spin your right heel towards the left edge of your mat. Keep your left hand grounded as you reach your right hand up high. So again, finding that duality of pushing your left knee into your left arm bone, and your left arm bone pushing into the knee. Squeeze through your left glute and really feel that opening of the inner thigh. Use your core strength to lift you up into a modified warrior two. Keep spinning the left knee toward the left edge of your mat and go as deeply as you feel comfortable into that lunge. Gaze over your left middle finger, shoulders stacked on top of hips. And then we'll come back up and softly land your right hand behind you. Long line reaches from left fingertips towards left toes. So we're not overarching here. We're really finding our shoulders are set down our back, our core is squeezing, our hips are pushing towards the right edge of our mat. And as we circle our left hand towards the floor, we're going to sit back onto our right heel and pull our left toes up towards the sky. Begin to just lean into a child's pose here as you feel the left inner thigh stretching. Find a position that feels appropriate for you. And then we'll walk our hands up and back, and we're going to find that lunge position again at the top of our mat. So our right foot is straight back now. Our left foot is still towards the pinky toe edge of our left hand. We're going to begin to squeeze our left knee into our left upper arm bone. You could support with the toes or try to lift the foot up off the mat, but use the core strength a lot. Gather up the core, and then as you exhale, extend your left heel straight back like we're in a bird dog. Don't extend too far into the low back as you lower your chest into the floor, and then both toe mounds come to the mat as you reach your chest up, lower high cobra. Gather up your core, modified plank, tuck the toes, or just sit back into child's pose for a moment. But we'll all meet in downward facing dog at your own pace and your own time. Good. So finding downward facing dog, we're going to move through a few cycles of sun salutations here. I'm going to give some advanced options, but feel free just to take your normal vinyasa. But we're going to look to the top of the mat, walk, step, or float forward. On your breath in, find halfway lift, and then exhale, forward fold. As we inhale, sweep your hands overhead high, strong through the back. Maybe look to the thumbs, light back bend. And as we exhale, we're going to roll right into a forward fold. On your next breath in, find your halfway lift. And then exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, step back into plank pose. Knees are available if you need it, or stay on toes and lower halfway down to chaturanga. Inhale, low high cobra or upward facing dog if that is in your practice. And then we'll meet in downward facing dog however you choose to get there. Take a breath in and take a breath out. One more breath in and one more breath out. Inhale, gaze to the top of the mat, prepare your feet. Bend the knees, walk, step, or playfully hop to the top. Maybe even a handstand is in your practice. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your hands overhead high. Palms come to touch, look to your thumbs, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift wherever you choose. And then exhale, forward fold, plant your hands, maybe crow poses in your practice. We're going to either hold and hover here or just play around with the shape or just simply move through your next vinyasa. However you choose, we are going to meet in downward facing dog. So maybe you roll through the vinyasa or you choose to skip a vinyasa, and that's always an option. But meeting in down dog, take 1 or 2 breaths in and out. On our next breath in, we'll gaze towards our fingertips at the top of the mat. Prepare the feet, walk, step, float, handstand, play, whatever feels good to you. Inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your hands over your head high, palms come to touch. Exhale, forward fold. Again, inhale, we will find our halfway lift. Choose whatever place you want to go, maybe crow pose, maybe jump back, maybe just simply step to down dog, but we will all meet in down dog in our own place and time. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. One more breath in and one more breath out. Inhale, look to the fingertips, prepare the feet. Exhale, walk, step, playfully float forward, handstand, whatever is in your practice. And then inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your hands overhead high, palms come to touch. And exhale, draw your hands through, heart center, and forward fold. This time we'll find a halfway lift. And as we exhale, bend your knees a lot and then sink into a little squat position. We are going to gracefully or ungracefully come to sit on your bum and then exhale, roll all the way down onto your back. You can use your hands on the backs of the thighs. Take a breath in, stretch your arms overhead long, extend through your toes, and then as we exhale, place your hands by your side. Pull your heels towards your hips. We're going to take 5 bridge waves. So 5 little back bends. As you breathe in, push your hips towards the sky, and as you exhale, roll 1 vertebra down until your pelvis hits last. Inhale, push your hips high, roll 1 vertebra down until that tailbone touches the floor. Inhale, squeeze the knees towards one another. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, roll down. One more at your own pace. And then from here, we're going to begin to stretch our toes out long. Take your gaze towards your toes, lift your hands and arms up off the mat, and then lift your feet about a foot off the floor. As we exhale, draw into high boat, maybe knees stay bent. As we inhale, lower low boat. Exhale, high boat. Inhale, low boat. Exhale, high boat. Hands can stay on the backs of the legs if they need to. Inhale, low boat. Exhale, high boat, maybe legs stay long. Inhale, low boat. Exhale, high boat and hold. Maybe cross the ankles here. If crow pose is in your practice, come right into that crow pose. Maybe feet stay crossed, or simply just coming into a squat here. Unwrap the feet, maybe jump back or step back into your next vinyasa, or choose just to meet in downward facing dog. Take a breath in and take a breath out. We'll bring our big toes to touch, prepare our feet, and this time we're going to just simply bring our right heel up towards the sky. Remembering to engage through the glute and not extend into the low back. As we exhale, draw your knee towards your nose and lightly step your right foot towards right thumb. Back knee stays lifted, square your hips, rise into crescent lunge with arms reaching overhead. We're going to begin to bend our left elbow and reach our left hand behind our neck, and then grab a hold of the left elbow with the right hand. Begin to flare your elbows open, flare your shoulders open, and lean gently to the right if it feels good to you. On a breath in, reach your hands to the sky and place your hands back to the floor. Heel toe your right foot over and bring your right hand inside the right knee. Sink a little bit lower into this really lifted lizard lunge. Maybe hands are on blocks here if you need it. That back knee can come to the floor if that thigh is really on fire. And then we'll spin our left heel to the mat. Right hand stays grounded to the block or floor, and we're going to reach that left hand to the sky. So again, keep pushing into the knee and the arm of the right side. Keep the back nice and long. And as we exhale, use the strength of your core to rise warrior two. Gaze over your right middle finger. Plant the left hand to the back thigh lightly, and right arm reaches up and back into reverse warrior. Breathe through the right rib cage, and then exhale, cartwheel our hands down inside of the right foot. Spin your back heel up and pull your right knee in towards right upper arm bone and try to lift your foot up off the mat. Extend the back heel long, and then maybe a three-legged vinyasa. Inhale, both feet come to the floor, open the heart, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in, take a breath out. Big toes touch, reach your left heel high to the sky, and fire up through the glute. Exhale, bring left knee to left nose, step left foot to left thumb. Spin the hips together, back heel is lifted here, rise into crescent lunge. The right hand's going to touch the back of the neck as we grab the right elbow with our left hand. Once we have the elbow clasp, begin to pull your elbows back and open the chest a little bit more. Lean gently to the left side of your mat. Take one more breath in, and as we exhale, reach your hands back up high to the sky. Exhale, hands reach either edge of the left foot. So begin to heel toe your left foot over as the left hand reaches inside the left knee. Sink your hips a little lower to the floor, remembering that the knee can always meet the earth if it needs to, but pull your chest forward. Open the heart. Blocks are there if you need them. Spin your right heel to the earth. Keep your left hand grounded, but reach the right hand to the sky. Really trying to find a long spine. Your gaze can stay neutral or maybe even look up towards your right thumb. Squeeze the shoulders together, squeeze the left glute, and then exhale, rise up, warrior two. Gaze over your left middle finger. Sink a little deeper into the left knee. Lightly as you can, place right hand to the back thigh and reach left arm overhead long for reverse warrior. Keep rolling that left knee out. It's not collapsing in. Cartwheel hands inside of the left foot. Pull your left heel up off the mat. Squeeze the left knee into the left arm bone, and then extend to a three-legged plank, maybe a three-legged vinyasa, and then inhale, both feet touch the mat as you open the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and take a breath out. Inhale, gaze to the top of the mat, prepare your feet, walk, step, float, handstand into the top of the mat. Inhale, find a halfway lift, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your hands overhead high, and exhale, draw your hands to heart center. Pause in mountain pose here. We're going to begin to shift the weight to the left foot as we pull our right knee in towards our chest and flex your right heel. We're going to spin the knee out to the side of the mat. Keep your back really long as you bring your knee back behind you as far as you can without collapsing into the low back. And then pull the right knee in towards your chest. Back out to the side. Spin the heel back behind you. And then roll that knee forward. Again, out to the side. Towards the back, rolling the hip. And then draw the knee forward. Place the right foot on the floor. Shift the weight to the right foot, and then bring the left knee into the chest. So the whole focus here is how stable can you make the rest of the body while you find movement in that hip. So drawing the left knee out to the side, you can see a little bit better here, and then keeping that back really still and finding as much hip extension as you can, and then use the core strength to roll that knee forward. Out to the side and back. And then roll the knee forward. Can you push into your right big toes and ground into the earth? Knee out to the side, to the back, and then not extending too hard in the low back, and then pull the knee forward. Good. Place the foot back to the earth. So we're going to begin to lift up onto your toes, find a heel raise, and then softly sink your heel down. Push strong through the toes, and especially the first and second toe, and then lower down. And on this last one, we're going to stay up on the toes and see if you can softly sink into a low squat, keeping the heels lifted. And then softly as you can, lower your seat to the earth and then rolling all the way into a high boat. As we exhale, lower down and then stretch your arms overhead long, big breath in. Exhale, place your hands by your sides. Knees bend, heels pull close, rock up onto the shoulders. Inhale, push your chest up high for a bridge, and then roll one vertebra down at a time. Inhale, push up high. Exhale, roll back down. 3 more bridges at your own pace. And 1 more, push up, and exhale, roll all the way down. Begin to stretch your feet out and long towards the front of your mat, and begin to lift your head, bring your gaze towards your toes, lift your arms, palms up to the sky, lift your feet, squeeze your core. We're in low boat, and we're going to exhale, lift up into high boat. Inhale, low boat. Exhale, high boat. Knees bent or straight, yogi's choice. Exhale, good, lift up. Inhale, low boat. Exhale, high boat. 1 more. Inhale, low boat, and exhale, high boat. Cross the ankles. Try to come into crow if you can, or just come up into squat, and then wherever you are, maybe flow through a vinyasa or just meet in downward facing dog. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Big toe mounds come to touch. Inhale, reach your right heel high to the sky. Exhale, pull knee to nose, step right foot to right thumb. Moving pretty swiftly here. Inhale, reach your hands high to the sky. Bend your left elbow and grab the elbow with the right hand. And then lean gently to the side. Feel a tricep and side waist stretch. Inhale, reach back up to the sky. Exhale, hands to the earth. Heel toe your right foot out and both hands are inside the right knee. Sink your hips a little lower, pull your heart forward. Hands either to the blocks or the floor, maybe come into the elbows for a full lizard lunge. Take 1 more breath in. And then as we exhale, we'll plant our hands back to the blocks or the floor. As we spin our left heel down, keep your right hand grounded, reach your left hand to the sky. Gaze comes where you feel most comfortable. Really squeeze through the breath. Exhale, rise up into warrior two. And then lightly into reverse warrior. Right arm up and back. This time we're going to cartwheel our hands down, back heel lifts up. Squeeze that right knee into the right upper arm bone, an option to stay where we've been, or if Kundalini 2 is in your practice, kick that leg out, maybe prop up onto the left arm and try to lift your back heel strong through the glutes. Maybe a vinyasa here, and then up and back, downward facing dog. So feel free to pause this video, rewind, kind of try that again if you need to. I will hold it a little bit longer on this other side. This next go around, but that is a very playful little transition that I love. Inhale, left heel to the sky. Exhale, left foot to left thumb. Inhale, reach up, crescent lunge, maybe right hand to the back of the neck as we lean gently, grabbing that right elbow with the left hand. Inhale, hands high to the sky. Exhale, place hands either side of your left foot. Heel toe your left foot over, both hands inside the left knee. And then stay on hands or come to elbows for lizard pose here. Can we pull the heart forward wherever we are? Can we avoid any pain in that low back and feel a comfortable stretch in that left inner thigh? Good. Hands back to the floor or a block. Reach your right hand up high to the sky as left hand stays grounded. That back heel is still grounded to the earth. And then as we squeeze the shoulders and the core, we lift up warrior two. Exhale, softly move into a reverse warrior. Left hand reaching up and back. And here we go, our playful arm balance today. Cartwheel the hands inside that left knee. Gather up the core, squeeze that left knee into the upper arm bone. Stay here or shift your weight forward as if you're coming to chaturanga and prop that right hip up on the right elbow as we lift the feet up off the mat. Extend through the legs long, hold it, or step or hop back into your next vinyasa, or just simply move into down dog or child's pose at your own pace. Again, feel free to pause the video, play on this side if you need to. When you are ready, we will all meet in child's pose. Let the forehead rest to the mat. Relax the arms, relax the wrist. Maybe think about the intention that you might have set at the beginning of our practice and see how it feels now. And continue to rest here. We are going to move into an outer hip stretch. We've done a lot of inner thigh stretching, so just to counter stretch all of that inner hip opening, we are going to move through pigeon pose. So we're going to stay on hands and knees here. But let's slide our right knee to our thumbs. And if you need to, we're going to just kind of rock over to the right hip a little bit more and kind of get this V shape with our ankle and knee. And then when you're ready, kind of come up off of that right hip, square your hips together. You could even place your block underneath your right glutes and really just moving into a place that feels appropriate for you. So you could forward fold onto your elbows. You could, even if this is way too much, you could come onto your back and cross your right ankle over your left thigh and just hold here in a figure 4 modified pigeon shape. So find a place that feels good to your hip, that you're getting an adequate outer hip stretch, but not feeling pinching or pain in that hip or low back. So if you are in full pigeon, you may want to stack your fist and let your forehead rest here, or you could even just simply rest your chest to the floor. But we will rest here for a few moments in stillness and quiet. And when you're ready, we'll begin to lift our chest, Slide your right foot straight back. Just kind of shake the leg out, maybe bend the knee a few times. And then we'll do the same thing on the left side. So pull your left knee forward, rock onto that left hip and kind of pull your left foot over, and then square your hips together. Perhaps the block comes underneath your left glute if you need a little support. And you can come to forearms and just rest in a position that feels good to you. So if you're on your back, we are just simply going to switch the legs. So our left ankle will cross over our right thigh this time. And wherever you are, just feel free to close the eyes, melt into this pose, and enjoy a few moments of stillness and quiet. And when you're ready, begin to lift your chest. Slide the left heel back if you're in that full pigeon shape. Maybe bend the knee a few times. If you're on your back, just stay right there. We are coming to meet you. So moving into an easy seat, roll one vertebra down at a time until you're on your back. And then begin to stretch your left leg straight out and pull your right knee into your chest. So hugging the right knee with your left hand. Stretch your right arm out and open to the side. And begin to draw your right knee across your body for a spinal twist as you look to your right fingertips. Maybe softly close the eyes. Make this very passive and relaxed. And then we'll come back onto your back. Place your right foot back to the earth. Bend your left knee up. Stretch your right leg out long and pull your left knee into your chest. Keep holding it with your right hand and reach your left arm out to the side. As we twist the left leg across the body, begin to look over towards the left palm, and feel free to close the eyes here. And again, we're not really forcing a shape, something we can easily breathe through, just making it very passive and relaxed. And when you're ready, we'll gently roll back onto your back. And maybe hugging both knees into your chest for just a moment. Feel free to find any sort of pose or shape that you may need before we meet in our final resting pose. But when you are ready, we'll stretch our feet out long to the ends of our mats. Let the palms rest by your sides. Flip the palms up to the sky in a sign of receiving. Just let the feet open up. Take a big breath in and then exhale, sigh, and melt into the earth. We'll stay here for just a few moments in stillness and quiet to receive the benefits of our practice. And then begin to find movement in the body. Maybe stretch the arms overhead long, extend through your toes. And when you're ready, roll to one side of your body. And maybe rest here for just a moment, finding a space for gratitude, just to say thank you for something in your life today. And when you're ready, we'll gently find an easy seat. Feel free to keep your eyes closed. We'll end our practice together here by sweeping our palms over our head high. Palms come to touch. Draw your thumbs over your third eye, all seeing, all knowing, into your heart center. Bow to the space between your palms, symbolic of your inner light. Thank you so much for practicing with me today.